So, thank you very much for joining me here today in the beautiful Marrakech for ACI WAGA 2022. I'm here with Tracy Ross, Projects and Design Manager, Sustainability Champion and LED Green Associate of Air Rianta International Middle East. First of all, thank you very much for being here with me today. I just think the first question I want to really get into is you have such an extensive knowledge of the industry and travel retail and design. Perhaps we can start with how this has shifted and changed across airports over the years.
So I would say let's talk about COVID first, because I think globally this is driving common change across airports, across retailers. So as I spoke earlier on, the impact of COVID and the change. And one of the key things that came out of COVID is people became more aware of climate change, the impact on them personally, on their countries. People became generally more aware. And as a result, we then started running a lot of research with our customers, and it was interesting to see that 85% are now looking for sustainable products sold in sustainable environments and genuine sustainable environments. So our customers, or change in our industry globally across airports and retail, is being driven by what our customer is asking for. And at the end of the day, we're in business because of our customer. So we have to listen to what they want. And obviously, sustainability is playing a very important role with people as they travel. I think people are more aware how they travel, how often they travel, the products that they purchase, offsetting. So, people generally are more aware, and this is driving a lot of change in the airports.
So, in terms of speaking about the passengers are wanting that sustainability initiatives in place, how is the shift in passenger demographic impacting all of this? Because on your panel you spoke about the new generation, the next generation wanting sustainability. So what are some things in play to really change the environment for this?
So the immediate thing is, and as I spoke on the panel about our customer now being more aware, more informed, 58% are shopping online. They want more information about product, but they are also more informed. So it is how you provide platforms in store that give that additional information they're asking for. It is then providing and calling out products that have those sustainable ingredients or packaging, and what we're actually doing in store, because it's one thing having these policies and principles in place, but very importantly is to communicate that to the customers. So immediately in store, dedicated areas that talk about our overarching principles, also allow a platform for those products that meet sustainable criteria, and calling out within the store and on the shelves those products which meet sustainability requirements. And it is interesting and good to see that there are very few suppliers who are not following sustainable policies. And it's not just about the packaging and the ingredients of the products, but it is at a broader scale. So where they source the ingredients from, how that's manufactured, their corporate social responsibility initiatives. Most companies look at 3 pillars: people, planet, and product, and how companies are doing that. And good to say, most companies realize the importance of having those 3 principles in place.
That's really good to hear. And so how does digitalisation come into play? So there's always a link between sustainability and digitalisation, but do you feel that element of human touch is still crucial, or is e-commerce on the rise?
Well, it was interesting to see, as we came out of COVID, and as I was mentioning on the panel, is there was this immediate awareness of health, wellness, and contactlessness. And that drove then. So firstly, the online shopping has driven the need for the e-commerce and the strengthening of the online platform. Contactless drove the need for weaving in digitalization into the design. But the interesting thing, as I was saying, is as we start to see passengers come back and revenge shopping, as we call it, and the amazing thing is this need for human connection and interaction again. And so suddenly, yes, you have the digital and the contactless, which are, let's say, enhancing the information that's available about the product and making it easily accessible from a home environment pre-travel. That's the important thing now. We've recognized customers want to shop before they get into the shop. So it's making that accessible. Now once they're in the shop is the importance of the human connection again and providing those additional touch points, interactive zones. And it's amazing how important that's become. And we have actually recognized the need to give up important commercial space and give it over to these interactive zones.
Absolutely. So, the idea of human touch. So I was speaking to Askin from Senegal, or airports of Senegal, and he said the whole the culture side of things. So
yes.
In Senegal, the culture is the human touch. Everyone's always asking, "Are you okay? How
yes.
are you?" So if we bring that back to the idea of that sense of place within an airport,
right?
How important is non-aeronautical operations for this, and especially across Middle Eastern regions?
Right.
The cultural differences so.
Okay. Now, one thing I can pride myself in saying, and this is what sets our company apart a little differently from others, is we are very much all about the local culture. It is not about our brand identity. So we don't come in and stamp our brand identity over the door. It is all about the local culture, bringing that in. And I mentioned, I think gone are the days where we just tick that sense of place box. We now step into spirit of place. So it's how do you talk like a local and bring in those local experiences, engage with all the five senses, and really bring to life the spirit of place. And for me, sense of place or spirit of place is more than just theming an area. It is recognizing local cultures, paying homage to local cultures, respecting those local cultures, bringing that into the retail environment, and providing a larger platform for local products. And by supporting local products, you're supporting local communities. And obviously that's linking in with the CSR program. So he actually asked a question earlier on about the revenge shopping, and we see revenge shopping petering off, and obviously, as you know, with inflation kicking in next year. So very importantly, or the opportunity there, I should say, is to give local product a greater platform to showcase themselves, support local product in that local sense, in that local language, that local spirit. So very important in all our operations, actually.
Absolutely. So with emerging airports, or perhaps small to medium airports, where can they begin when it comes to introducing or transforming their non-aeronautical operations and commercial operations, so like retail and F&B?
See, for me, size doesn't matter, because you still have the same platform. You're still passing people through your space. You're still engaging with passengers and customers. You're just doing it on a smaller scale. So you can still, you have retail and F&B offers tailored to suit a smaller passenger profile. That's all. Yeah.
And what's on your watch list?
For me, the big thing at the moment is the Metaverse. I am very excited, and I'm watching downtown retail all the time. How is downtown retail using the Metaverse? We talk about, so as I say, the effect of online shopping, and now bringing your customer into the store virtually, pre-travel, okay? And I think now the Metaverse is going to take that to another level. It's trying to get your head around that from a retail perspective. Does it make retail sense? Because you're looking at a lot of investment. But it's like if you didn't get on board with Google years ago, you missed the boat, and the metaverse is going to be the same. So how can we create virtual stores in the metaverse where, and it's a similar principle where you're now allowing your customers to shop on this virtual platform pre-travel, and then using your bricks and mortar store to enhance that experience. So it's something we quite haven't figured out yet, the commercial element of it. It is big money to invest, but it is definitely on my radar because I think it is the way to go, and it's going to be, I see it as a challenge and an opportunity.
That sounds incredible, really, really exciting. And I guess my final question to you is, we keep speaking about net zero by 2050, but what is your vision for a life beyond 2050?
I think back to my point about the metaverse, I think we're going to be shopping in the metaverse in cryptocurrency. Now that poses the next question is, so if we are very genuine about net zero, and this is the biggest challenge to our industry, and obviously, everybody looks at us and says, but you are one of the biggest contributors, you contribute 4% towards global emissions, so if you want to be genuine about it, don't travel anymore. That would be the worst thing, but will virtual platforms be developed to such a level where we no longer need to travel, So, can I visit Maldives virtually? Will it be so developed that they have figured a way to engage my 5 senses? I don't know whether it'll get to that stage, but I definitely think there's a challenge there. But I actually think what's going to happen is we're going to go full circle. Okay, we are going so far with technology, and we saw post-COVID where we were bringing in all these digital, activations, digitalization, and at the end of the day, we're talking about bots to deliver to gates and maybe bots to serve samples to customers. And then I thought, hang on a second, people want that human connection. So will we go completely full circle and go completely away from technology and get back to basics again? I think maybe we may go that way. We could go either way.
Isn't that the exciting part?
It is. It is.
Yeah, the industry is so uncertain, which can be scary, but also part of the excitement.
Yeah, but that is, I think, is the beauty of this industry, is we're very adaptable, and to survive, we will have to change with the demands of our customers, because that's why we're in business. So, be interesting to see where we are in 2050.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.